Grammy-nominated artist Will Hoge is currently celebrating the release of his 9th studio album called Never Give In, and he is here right now to tell us all about it. Good to have you with us.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing fine, thanks.
You are a prolific album maker, and you also seem to move around a lot from label to label, and I think part of that is that your journey through the music business has had its ups and downs, a lot of which come together in this album. Is that pretty accurate?
I think so, and it sounds way nicer than just saying I'm hard to work with, so thank you for that.
I don't get the sense that you are. I think this album is sort of the culmination of your journey, that emotionally and physically and mentally, it's been a tough road. What's been the hardest and most surprising thing about being a recording artist for a long period of time?
It's just the roller coaster of it, because you go through, it's the huge, you go through these sweeping expectations of you're going to be a huge star, and then you go through the lows of you're not a huge star, and then you go through it again and again, and it's a roller coaster ride, and you eventually have to learn to just stop listening to all of it and just make your records and try to stay as constant level as you can.
Part of the way you do that is by spending a lot of time touring. Is that hard on you?
It is, and it's harder, now with a wife and 2 kids, it gets harder and harder just to be away because you just don't enjoy it as much. But there's still, getting to go out and connect with a crowd every night is still the benefit of all of this for sure.
And how has that schedule, being out on the road, affected the way that you write music? I would think if getting to connect with the fans night after night after night would change how you make music when you're in the studio.
It does, and it just changes your perspective. You realize what things work and what things don't. And it just, you start to balance the 2 things, making records versus playing live.
You're also an accomplished songwriter, in addition to being an accomplished recording artist. You wrote the #1 selling hit, Even If It Breaks Your Heart, for the Eli Young Band. What's it like to hear your songs that you write succeed on such a huge scale?
It's awesome.
Yeah?
I mean, it really is. To have something, as a native Nashvilleian and a writer, to have something that gets nominated for Song of the Year and becomes a real big country hit is something that you really kind of dream of. And to see it happen is just, it's an incredible thing to watch.
Do you know when you write a song, hey, this one's for me, this one's going on my album, or no, this one I'm going to market because it'd be better for somebody else?
It's different every time. I mean, Even If It Breaks Your Heart, I wrote for me and thought that it was a huge hit, and then it wasn't when I put it out. And then the Eli Young guys did it, and it was a huge hit. So.
But then, I mean, is that a mixed blessing? Because there's a part of you goes, well, it was a good song, so maybe it was just me.
I fired my manager and my record label, and then that just made it a whole lot. I feel like that was redemption at some point.
Lady Antebellum is also going to be covering one of your songs. Have they already done it? Or
they did. It's on their new record.
On their new record. Must have been a big shot in the arm again, feeling like I'm doing great songwriting out there.
Yeah, and same thing again. That was one. Charles had called me. He had been a big fan of a record that I had made that had that song called Better Off Now That You're Gone on there, and he called to ask if they could record it. So it was a nice thing, to feel like these records that I'm making, even though they may not have had this mass commercial appeal that I would have liked for them to have, the right groups of people are hearing it here and there, and you just never know when a record's going to sort of take on new life.
What do you want people to take away from this record, from your newest album?
I hope that they'll just be moved by the songs. I hope that there's some things that everyone can relate to, topic-wise and things like that. And I hope, most importantly, it just encourages folks to come back out and see a show. I think that live music is still such a great thing. And, when it's done right at the club level in places where we're playing, I think that it can be a real moving experience. I hope people will come and bet their $12 on us.
Well, we're about to let everybody get a taste of that for free. We're going to send Will over to the stage to get ready to perform for us. You do not want to miss his performance. It's coming up